always excited when I receive stories about success and gains in bone density, strength, balance, and quality of life. When I read Debi's story, I was intrigued, but also a little skeptical about her bone density gains. She mentioned that her 2022 DEXAs were very bad and showed a loss that was very significant in her lumbar spine. She was suggested to begin pharmaceuticals such as an injectable anabolic medication that costs up to $4,000 US a month. Wisely, she decided to see what other options were available. Her Google search led her to become very familiar with my website. She wrote that she had managed to increase her scores significantly within a year, and I was a little concerned. You see, when I hear that an individual's spinal scores increase, I'm always a little concerned that it may be due to compression of the vertebrae. Because when you compress a vertebrae, or when they have a fracture, they actually become more dense. So I asked Debi to send me her complete records. I wanted to see the images of her spine. Gladly to say, there were no compression fractures. Her bone density increase were true gains. I was very impressed, and I asked her if she would be willing to share the approach she took, and she kindly agreed. So I bring you Debi.
Thanks for having me. I live in California, and so we have a lot of outdoor activities here. But I do have osteoporosis, and it became very clear to me a couple of years ago that when I got a DEXA score, I had a significant decrease in my bone density, and there was a lot of concern by the doctors, and I decided I needed to get religion in terms of changing my lifestyle, my diet. So I spent a lot of time researching. I think I've seen almost all of your videos online, interviewing experts. I researched other experts in their field. I would go to the YouTube where they would have medical doctors who were prominent in the field of osteoporosis and the different drugs, and I listened to them. And then I got my DEXA from 2022, and there was a 14% decrease in the lumbar spine. And my doctor was very concerned and wanted to know why it went down, and it's almost an invisible marker for you. You're like, well, I don't know why it went down. I think I lost a little weight. I lost a husband. I had a high stress job and was probably not as active as I normally would be. Because throughout my life, I was very athletic, the top athlete in my high school. Played tennis, played soccer, played softball, played basketball. So very, very a very active, strong person. So I was surprised that, I saw this as a real weakness and some sort of a fault. So I started doing the research. And one of the things I came across was the Marodyne vibration, low intensity vibration. I watched a lot of Dr. Rubin's interviews with different people in England and over here. And I really found it compelling, and that there was science behind it, and then it was peer reviewed. So I had purchased it, I think in December of 2022, and got it in the early part of, because it takes you a little while to get it. I got it in, I think, January or February 2023. Started using it religiously. Well, I was doing 3 times a day. I went down to 2 times a day, and recently I'm starting to use it, stand on it 3 times a day again. So then I'm not on any medications. So I got my DEXA scan repeated in 2023, November 2023. And I was really excited because I had a 16.6% increase in my bone mineral density. And I was really thrilled with what the impression was, that it was a significant increase from the one before, because the one before said there was a significant decrease. So I've been very happy. I increased my protein. I think especially women of my age, that we really don't have a lot. We don't enjoy eating protein like we should. So I've added protein to every meal. I do take a calcium supplement usually in the morning. I take K at lunchtime. And I eat 6 prunes a day, which luckily I can tolerate that.
Okay, wow. And did you have any change in your hip at all? Because that 16.6% was in the spine, and I believe in your total hip, because you sent that information to me.
The left total hip was 2% increase.
Excellent.
And the
prior to that, it had decreased about 8.6%, I believe. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's really good.
Yeah. I think it's a success story, and I'm going to continue. Like I said, unless I'm on vacation, I definitely use the Marodyne every day, and just
excellent.
stick to.
A lot of people are wondering how old you are, because
Okay, so I'm 70 and a half. 70. I'll be 71 in September. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I do ski at snow ski, which when I tell my doctors that, they give me a cross-eyed look. But I enjoy that. I walk my 4 dogs every day, and individually, they almost all weigh more than I do. So I'm walking about 500 pounds of dogs. We go 3 or 4 miles a day, or every other day.
Wow. So do you interchange, like mix your strength training days and your walking days? Do you alternate them?
I try to do that. It's it depends on the weather, and
The dogs.
it doesn't take a lot. The problem when you're walking so many dogs, you can't go fast enough to get the benefit that I know that you need to get, because they're going in all different directions. Your goal is to get them into a line.
Okay.
So.
All right. Fair enough. And just so that because everybody wants to know your protocol, and if you want to just clarify that again, you do it first thing in the morning, you do it 3 to 5 hours later.
Yes.
And then 3 to 5 hours after that, you do your strength or your walk. Is that
right? So normally I will get on at about 6:30 in the morning, and then maybe at 10 again, and then at 2 I'll do my strength training, and then I will do one later on in the day sometime.
great?
Yep.
That's awesome.
And my husband, who has Achilles problem, he has finally decided to start using it, and so he's getting some benefit. Oh, and the area that I really wanted to talk about too is, with arthritis and the strength training, you have a lot of really sore recovery days. And I've noticed that, like, if I get out of bed and I'm really stiff, I notice if I get on the platform, I just feel better. And I know it's anecdotal, but I do feel like it helps you recover. Because when I go skiing, I'm just, I wake up in the middle of the night going, because everything hurts. And if I get out of bed and jump on the platform, I just seem to feel better. Before I would have 2 or 3 days recovery. Now, if I use the platform, or when I use the platform, I seem to recover in one day. So I, you know, it is anecdotal, but for me, I'm a believer in, because I've been using it for over a year now, and I consistently find that it gives me relief. If it's, my knees been bothering me, or my feet, whatever, it seems to help move that along.
Yeah, I've actually heard from people that I don't know, just because they kindly send me messages, and some that actually don't even have osteoporosis, but have used it for their rheumatoid arthritis and have really found it beneficial. So I don't know that they have any studies specifically on arthritis, but there is a lot of just testimonials out there that it does help with recovery and how the joints feel. So I'm glad you got that extra benefit too.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with me and with listeners. And I know you get to enjoy it for many years to come, and it'll keep your bones safe and now your joints.
Well, you're welcome, and I really do appreciate all of the information that you put out for women of especially my age. You seem to really dial in, uh, like, where you give us exercises and direction that doesn't injure us, because so often I think there's videos and even physical therapists that we go to, that they don't really understand the whole coming together, the structure, and how we can't do the same things that we used to do, and we just have to modify it. So I appreciate your efforts in that regard.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad to be able to help.
Many look for the single magic bullet to better bone health. The biggest success stories I've received over the last decade are from those who have taken a multifaceted approach, optimizing their nutrition, progressive strength training, and consistent weight bearing. But in the past 2 years, the stories from some individuals have changed. Those that have included the low intensity vibration 2 to 3 times a day have had significantly accelerated gains. And Debbie is a good example of this. Now, every person is unique, as are their gains. I hope that this story encourages you to stay on track to build the bones you need to support you for life. Click here for an exercise program to start building stronger bones today.